Hey hombres, what is happening? Carter here. Got another knife to show you guys. This is another Hallmark Cutlery Bad Blood folder designed by Sean Kendrick. It's a production version of his custom knife, the Fire Spitter. Now, this knife has been listed in various places under the wrong name, Fire Splitter, which doesn't even really make sense, but or at least I assume that's the wrong name, because the actual name of his custom knife that this is made after is the Fire Spitter, and that makes more sense. But yeah, this is a insane knife. This thing is insane. It is crazy, crazy, crazy. It's got a 3.7-inch blade, over 9 inches overall. I mean, it's a large knife. It's a flipper. As you can see, it's really, really smooth. Fairly thick stock. Not insanely thick, but it is quite thick. Got kind of a dagger type blade. Got a nice wedge on the top, unsharpened, of course. Bead blasted steel, 8CR13 MOV. You can see the logo right there. On the back, you've got some mumbo jumbo copyright stuff. I don't know why that needed to be there, but it's there. Here's the flipper. You've got good jimping. It's nice and big flipper. You can really get on top of it. And this is fairly new. I've only played with it a little bit. You can see how it flies open already, especially if you kind of get on the tip of that and just pop it in. It flies open. Pretty rock solid. You get a little bit of lock slip on up and down right there. I think it's just due to the steel liners. I'm not totally sure. Steel liners, like I just said. It's got a relief cutout right here. They are not skeletonized in any way, shape, or form. Great lock geometry. In fact, really beautiful lock geometry. If we can get some focus in here. It's nice and straight at a slight angle. I'm thinking about taking this one apart. Unlike the Dreadnought, I could not get that apart because the pivot for some reason was glued solid, and I ended up starting to strip it, trying to take it apart. This one I have tried to tighten and loosen it so I can get it apart. So I'm thinking about taking this apart, maybe stonewashing it up, adding a little bit more tension on the lock bar to try and get that lock a little bit more solid, and see how that goes. G10 scales, different grip or different texture than the Dreadnought. Nice fuller right here. This has more of the kind of Strider cold steel larger type traction on it, but it's actually not super grippy. It's all right. Really thick. Look how thick this sucker is. Insane. Big slab of G10 on this side. If you take this apart, these screws hold on the G10, and then it just has screws going through both of these liners, holding everything together. G10 backspacer, solid backspacer, nice big pocket clip, not too deep. 2 screws holding it in. This thing is heavy. Wow. And I knew it was heavy before I got it, because people say how heavy it is. But once you hold this thing, it'll blow your mind off. Blow your mind off. That doesn't even make sense. It is heavy. It is way heavy. It's heavier than the Dreadnought for sure. I think it's got thicker liners. Maybe I'll do a comparison video. But man, this is just a monster chunk of steel. But definitely very cool. So if you don't mind big, heavy blades, this thing is a winner at $32 or whatever it is. It's crazy. One thing I did notice that I don't really like about this is the detent. You can see it's off, meaning that the detent is drilled as though this is stopped, but it's not completely stopped. So it's got slop in the detent. You can see right there, and I'm assuming that's because this has the internal stop pin like the Dreadnought does. So I'm thinking it was just a little bit of a miscalculation when it was being manufactured. So that's kind of annoying. It doesn't really cause any functional issues. It's just, just one of those things that's kind of annoying. And, that's par for the course for these Chinese-made knives. You could pick one up for 30 bucks, and it is just spotless, top to bottom. Has nice early solid lockup, perfect detent, everything's perfect. Or you could pick one up that has one problem like this, or maybe it's got 2 or 3 problems. That's kind of the gamble you take with these cheaper knives. It is possible to get one of these and say, why would anybody spend more than this on a knife? I mean, it's great. Everything's perfect on it. Or you can get one like this that has, a detent problem. It's not a big problem, but it's annoying. And it's this kind of stuff that gets by QC from a lot of these Chinese manufacturers and stuff like that. But, at 30 bucks, you really can't complain. It's an excellent price, and definitely a really cool design from Mr. Sean Kendrick. He's one of my favorite custom makers, although I don't have any of his custom pieces. I would like to get one sometime in the future. Great jimping, too. And that's the thing. The design is there. The design is there. The materials I'm 100% fine with. I just kind of wish that a few of these things were implemented a little bit better, but no big deal. I'm going to get this sucker stonewashed and see if that makes it even look nicer. Alright guys, just a look at the Sean Kendrick designed Hallmark Cutlery Bad Blood Fire Spitter. It's a lot of names for a knife. Alright guys, take it easy.